Tomatoes are up 40% from last year, fresh vegetables up 11%, ground beef 21%. The weekly grocery total keeps climbing and the cart looks exactly the same. This video is about what you can put in the ground right now in June to start changing that before summer ends. 6 crops, small space, first harvest in weeks. Since 2020, the average American family has spent $2,000 to $3,000 more per year on groceries just to buy the same things. The supply chain settled down, the prices didn't come with it. That's the money side. There's another side most people don't think about. The Environmental Working Group tested 54,344 samples of produce this year and found 264 different pesticides across the grocery store's fruit and vegetable section. The number one most contaminated item on their 2026 list is spinach. Kale is right behind it. 90% of potatoes tested contained a sprout inhibitor that's been banned in the European Union. These aren't obscure vegetables. They're what most people buy every single week. Growing your own doesn't fix everything, but it fixes this for the foods that matter most, and it does it for the cost of a packet of seeds. You don't need a farm. A backyard, a raised bed, or a few containers on a porch will do it. These 6 crops were picked for one reason: highest return on space and effort, starting now. Perpetual Spinach start. Here because spinach is sitting at number 1 on that dirty dozen list, and this is the variety that actually works through summer. Perpetual spinach is a type of chard, but the leaves taste like regular spinach. Mild, not bitter, no slimy texture when cooked. The stems work like celery. Stir-fry it, throw it in soup, use it raw in salads. Regular spinach bolts in the heat. I've watched it happen in my own garden, planted in May, flowering and finished by mid-June. Perpetual spinach doesn't do that. It's heat-tolerant, cold-tolerant, and it grows back every time you cut it. Gardeners who switch to this say the same thing. Greens all summer when everyone else's spinach gave out weeks earlier. One plant can carry a family through the whole season. Direct sow now about 6 inches apart. Cut the outer leaves first and leave the center to keep growing. It'll replace what you took within a week or two. Sweet potato. Sweet potatoes have been a backyard staple for 500 years across 3 continents, and the reason is simple: they work with almost no help. What surprises most people is that sweet potato vines spread across the ground as they grow, and that canopy smothers weeds underneath it. You're not weeding that bed, the plant handles it. They're pest-resistant too, and the leaves are edible, cooked just like regular spinach. Propagate from a cutting, put it in a garden bed or a large container, water it once to get it established and leave it alone. The tubers stay in the ground until you need them. Dig one end of a row, take what you need, and the rest keeps. In cooler climates, it runs through the warmest months. In warmer zones, it goes year-round. A single 4-foot row will produce 8 to 10 pounds of sweet potatoes. At current grocery prices, that's $12 to $15 worth of food from one cutting and a bit of water. Zucchini fast and productive from seed, and one of the easiest crops to preserve when it produces more than you can eat fresh. A June planting will be producing before July ends and keep going until frost. The challenge isn't growing it, it's keeping up with it. Grate the excess and freeze it in bags. When you need it, thaw it, squeeze out the water, and it goes straight into fritters, soups, or stews. One plant in June becomes food through December. Harvest when the zucchini is about 6 to 8 inches long. At that size, the flavor is best and the plant keeps producing. Leave one on the vine too long and it puts energy into that fruit instead of making new ones. Black-eyed peas. This is the one most people overlook, and it's one of the most forgiving crops you can plant in June heat. Black-eyed peas thrive in warm, dry conditions. Direct sow them now 4 inches apart, alongside whatever else is in the summer bed. They fix nitrogen as they grow, which means they're quietly improving your soil at the same time. Harvest them fresh as shell peas when the pods are plump and green, or leave them to dry on the plant completely and pull a full crop of dried beans before fall. Dried black-eyed peas store for a year. That's food on the shelf for winter without a freezer involved. Egyptian walking onions. I planted walking onions 3 years ago. I haven't bought a single onion since. Most onions can't go in the ground at this time of year. This one can, and it keeps coming back every year on its own. Egyptian walking onions produce a cluster of small bulbs at the top of the stalk. The stalk bends under the weight, those bulbs touch the soil, and the plant propagates itself. You plant once and the patch expands outward every season. They taste like a regular onion, handle summer heat, and are ready to pull whenever you need them. Use the green tops like scallions and the bulbs like regular onions. Nothing goes to waste. Kale pushes through summer heat when most other brassicas quit. Start it now, harvest the outer leaves regularly to keep new growth coming, and it will produce well into the hot months. The reason to grow it yourself is the same reason spinach is on this list. Kale and collard greens sit right behind spinach at the top of the 2026 Dirty Dozen. The contamination data on commercially grown kale is consistent year after year. A few things that make a difference. Water at the base, not overhead, to reduce fungal problems in summer humidity. If cabbage worms find it, a row of insect netting is faster and cheaper than any spray. Harvest in the morning when the leaves are at their firmest. When I was figuring all this out, the part that took me the longest wasn't the planting. It was deciding which foods were actually worth the space and how to lay things out when you don't have much of it. I ended up putting that together as a guide. It's called the $500 Grocery Escape Plan, 12 high-return foods with 3 layouts for different space sizes and a planting calendar for zones 5 through 9. If you want to take a look, the link is in the description. If you're starting from zero and can only do a few things, this is how I'd think about it. The crops with the biggest pesticide argument are spinach, kale, and potatoes. Those 3 show up in the contamination data every single year. Growing them yourself takes them off the Dirty Dozen entirely for your household. The crops with the biggest grocery bill argument are the walking onions, zucchini, and sweet potatoes. High yield, low maintenance, long shelf life, or easy to preserve. You don't have to do all 6 at once. 2 or 3 plants in a container on a porch is a real start. The first time you walk outside and pull dinner from something you planted, the math changes in your head. It stops feeling like a project and starts feeling like a habit. Prices are not going back to where they were in 2019, but a small patch of the right plants changes what that means for your household, one harvest at a time. Plant something this week, June is the window. Leave a comment and tell me what you're starting with. And if someone in your life is watching that grocery total climb every week, send them this video. If this was useful, subscribe. More of this coming every week.